On April 4th, 2022, Chris Sale was placed on the IL due to a stress fracture on his rib cage, and even though he got asked about what caused it, he never specifically said the reason. For a team that didn't have their ace for the first few months of the season, the Red Sox were playing very good baseball. After going through months of frustrating rehab, Sale was finally set to start his first game of the season on July 12th. At this point, Boston was 47-40, second in the AL East, and had sole possession of the first wildcard spot in the American League. Boston lost this game after Sale pitched 5 innings, but at least the team was able to add one of their best players back to the roster. That was until his very next start in Yankee Stadium, when Aaron Hicks hit a line drive back at Sale and broke his finger, putting him back on the IL. Even with this new injury, Sale still could have done the rehab once again and been added back to the roster in time to make a playoff push. But we now found out today that Chris Sale was riding his bike down a hill when he apparently hit something and it caused him to fall. He ended up breaking his wrist and he'll now miss the rest of the season. This wouldn't be the first time a player got injured from some form of biking. In April 2017, Madison Bumgarner landed himself on the IL for the first time in his career after he got into a dirt bike accident. Luckily, his injuries weren't as bad, just some bruised ribs and an AC joint sprain in his pitching shoulder. More notably, Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. got into a motorcycle accident this past offseason, which led to a broken wrist. We're now in August with the Padres on a 5-game losing streak with their playoff spot hanging on by a thread, while Fernando Tatis Jr. hasn't played in a single game this year. While these injuries might just seem like dumb luck that causes a setback for a franchise, some players aren't fortunate enough to get another chance. In 2016, Astros pitching prospect Jose Rosario was killed in a motorcycle accident at the age of just 20 years old. That same year, Orioles prospect Ramon Ramirez passed away from another motorcycle accident at age 23. And in 2020, Nationals minor leaguer Fausto Segura suffered the same fate, also at age 23. Now, mentioning this might seem like an exaggeration because, after all, Chris Sale's injury just came from a standard bicycle, but you would like to see MLB players be a little more cautious when it comes to these type of things because you truly never know what can happen. Riding down a hill on a bike when you already have a broken finger isn't too smart. Too many young lives have been lost, and I'm sure there are even more that I didn't even mention. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that make fun of this Chris Sale injury because, after all, it is a pretty clumsy thing to happen. Like I said, you truly never know how these situations could play out, so luckily for Sale, he'll just have to rehab once again, and he'll be ready for the team next year. So that wraps this one up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.